Hello everyone, it's Oliver Harper here, and I'm back again with Brad Watson for a commentary
Hello.
on Willow.
On Willow.
Yes, this is Brad's choice, actually.
Yes, I believe it was. I think we were. I threw a few suggestions at you, and this seemed to light the fire.
Exactly, it's Ron Howard film, which is Brad's a huge fan of Ron Howard.
I'm a massive fan of Ron Howard. I defend Ron Howard to the death. I'm not saying everything he's done is brilliant, but he's done a lot of stuff. And when he's good, I think he's really good.
There you go.
Anyway, I'm done. Mic drop. I'm out of here.
If you wish to sync this commentary with your own copy of the film, put the timestamp to 0 and press play now. So it's weird there because the Blu-ray's in the UK distributed by Fox, so we've kind of skipped past the Fox slide going on straight to this, and it's the MGM. But then I had a laserdisc of this, and it was like a Sony laserdisc. I was like, what's going on?
Yes,
different distributors.
Yes, right.
This is one of the most. Oh, it's one of my favourite James Horner scores.
Oh, this score is
Krull.
wonderful. Yeah, this is James Horner right at where he was being his most James Horner-ish.
Yes,
And and especially the stuff he was doing with Ron Howard as well, like Cocoon. I loved. But
it starts with how most classic sort of fantasy movies start as a little bit of prologue, a little bit of text to sort of set to introduce you to the story. Not much text; it's very simple, straightforward. As we sort of see as we go through the course of the movie, it's very much inspired by Lord of the Rings. Probably even things like, would you say Excalibur, things like that? Would you say? It kind of like Star Wars did. It kind of borrows elements from different other sort of genres.
I mean, the thing is, it got criticised a lot for basically being Star Wars with swords.
Yes,
that it was. It's like where Star Wars took the fantasy element and put it into space, and which people felt was quite original. They were like, well, you've taken the same elements that you then gave a good spin on, and now you're just kind of doing that without putting a spin on it. And it's and everyone's equating it with the beats of Star Wars with it's like everyone slags off Rogue One for being a carbon copy of A New Hope, and not Rogue One, Force Awakens, and but everyone slagged this off for being the same thing. It's like, well, it kind of follows a similar beats, but it just follows those classic.
This one didn't do as well as Star Wars, and
no, this wasn't. This I don't think this is considered a success at the time. I do
know it did okay, but it was the expectations.
I think they were expecting it to do
George Lucas
way better than it did.
With fantasy movies of the 80s, there was so many of them, but they never were big hitters. And it's like the studios were like kind of saying, "Let's make more of them," to sort of try and find that lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, they kept trying to do it. Yeah, and I guess everyone thought, well, if anyone can do it, Lucas can do it, surely.
Yes.
And to be honest, if you put this film up against pretty much all the other fantasy movies of the 80s, and it's leagues ahead, I honestly think it's leagues ahead.
I think Dragon Slayer, Conan the Barbarian, and this.
Yeah.
Those ones are kind of were successful. And I think there's... the rest of them were kind of flops, but they not flops because they were bad films. They weren't marketed well or just didn't hit with audiences. Because teenagers and kids, the 80s, there was Games Workshop, Dungeons and Dragons. There was obviously clearly an audience for this stuff, but it was just trying to communicate with them and try and give them something what they wanted to see. Yeah, not just be just another carbon copy of something.
I think they'd been burned a little bit, like certainly it's like something like Dragon Slayer, which I love, and I especially love for especially love for its effects. But kids found that movie terribly boring, and I think a lot of the fantasy stuff just seemed to not be jibing with the young kids the way Star Wars did. So they tried to do it, but I think I remember at the time a lot of kids in my school were saying that Willow was a bit boring.
Willow's issues, I think it stems from its length. I think it's a little bit baggy.
It is a bit baggy. It is a bit too long. But I still love it. I always remember when this came out on. Look at those names: Dennis Muren, Michael McAllister, and Phil Tippett. 3 of the original ILM masters. Anyway, what I was saying was when this film first came out on VHS, all these blue credits were unreadable. Like there was something about the credits that was like the blue would just bleed, and you couldn't read any of the credits. It was really funny.
Obviously, Ron Howard's obviously like, I don't like pan and scan, so he's going to put a lot of the action on the right and the credits on the left, and vice versa. So you've got how you going to get all that to fit in the frame.
Yeah, exactly. Which you can do so much more now because people are used to watching things properly on widescreen.
Adrian Biddle, he photographed Aliens. He kind of took over.
He did indeed.
Some other DP. He wasn't gelling well with Cameron, and Biddle came on and made a name for himself with that.
Yeah,
and,
went on to do a few Ridley Scott stuff, Thelma and Louise, and things like that. And one of my very first jobs, I worked on a movie he lit, Fierce Creatures.
Ah,
and
I think did he do Event Horizon?
He did do Event Horizon. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, and I think The World's Not Enough. I think.
Maybe. Yeah, he did a couple of Bonds. I think it might have been that one. No.
He died quite young, actually. I think he did. The last thing he kind of did was, I think he did some of his work is in Basic Instinct too.
Yeah,
yeah. Which
was directed by Michael Canton Jones, who directed Scandal, that was the film Joanna Wally was in before this.
Ah.
And Michael Canton Jones was an interesting director. I liked his stuff. I particularly like Memphis Belle. I think Memphis Belle is brilliant.
Well, they shot that down in Duxford.
They did indeed.
Yeah.
Although I think his best film is Doc Hollywood.
Doc Hollywood. God, I've not seen that in years. It has the Chesney Hawkes "I'm the One and Only" song in that, doesn't it?
Mm.
Oh, his kids are so sweet.
Yeah.
Warwick Davis's character, Willow's character.
Now, all these cutaways of the baby, and I believe there were twins used in this.
They generally use twins, don't they?
Yeah. But you can see that Ron Howard was very clever in that he got them to design all this, swaddling around the baby so that they could pick up a lot of close-ups of the baby's face in any location.
Right.
And as long as the lighting, matched, they could cut to it at any time. And they obviously wanted Laura Dannon to react to everything, and smile at the right things, look pensive, look worried, and if you watch it, it's actually quite amazing the amount of expressions they get out of this little baby throughout the whole film.
It's like Willow kind of, Borwick's got an English accent, but the kid sounds slightly American. The little boy does. It's like, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you're saying, the reaction from the baby is brilliant. When,
here he is.
Oh, Burgle Cut is my favourite. He popped up in the film Hardware.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. And they even dubbed him actually in Hardware.
He had an American accent in that, that's for sure. Whether it was his own voice or not, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
All the best humour comes from Burgle Cut, and obviously Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer's hilarious
because he's really good in this.
Mm.
Despite some of the sort of stories we hear about Val Kilmer during the 90s and being a bit of an arse.
Yeah.
He goes out of control.
Yes. Well, yeah. I remember, as a kid for me, I knew Val Kilmer from
Top Gun.
I knew him from Top Gun, and I knew him from Top Secret.
Top Secret, God, yeah.
Which is brilliant. and a movie called Real Genius as well.
I never saw that. Yeah. There's been talk of a Willow sequel for so long. I know Warwick Davis is always up for it, and there's Val Kilmer's obviously kind of teased it a few times, but I just don't think.
Did you see the episode of Life's Too Short?
No.
Oh man, Life's Too Short is brilliant. The Ricky Gervais
with
thing, with Warwick Davis, and there's the whole episode where Val Kilmer turns up, saying that he's just been talking with Ron Howard, and the Willow sequel was a go, and Val Kilmer's basically. It turns out Val Kilmer's basically just conning Warwick Davis to give him money, and it's brilliant. But they really go into town like the Willow sequel is going to happen, and Val Kilmer would just walk into restaurants and put on the Batman cowl and ask people to guess who it is. And everyone would be guessing Michael Keaton, George Clooney, and they'd be going Adam West. They'd be going before, and no one would guess Val Kilmer. It was brilliant. Although he's had problems, Val Kilmer now. He's he had throat cancer.
Yeah,
but apparently he's in the Top Gun sequel, so
yeah,
we shall see. But all his antics aside, I think he's brilliant in this.
Oh, he really is. Yeah, I mean, he still had it was at a younger age. He was still out to prove something.
Yeah,
he's still the hunger to act, as it were.
No, I love this music. Yeah, they all are.
It's all leftovers of the Ewoks, isn't it, really?
It's basically the Ewoks without their costumes. They actually shot most of this at the wrap party of Return of the Jedi. They just sort of... Oh, look, people with hoods over their heads.
It's got Billy Bart in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The old
Bartster turns up.
Yeah.
Or Gwildor from Masters
He's got the key!
The cosmic key! And I also know him as being a theme park nut, the voice of Figment in Journey to Imagination from Epcot Centre. There's a little deep cut for a few of you out there that know anything about theme parks.
It does obviously sowing the seeds now that he is a magician and he gets better as the time goes on. But he doesn't get to the point where he's as good as, say, Billy Barty's character or anything like that. But I think his amateur skills come into play at the end when he does this trick here.
Yeah, he does this disappearing pig trick. Yeah, and cons the evil, powerful sorcerer.
When she disappears, she's like...
Yeah. She's like, to a realm where evil cannot touch her. There's no such place. And because I live there. And he cons her. And I think it's a wonderful little idea. I think it's great.
It's great, yeah.
That he just does this simple little trick.
He's laughing.
Here he is.
And also Billy Barty's in... is he in Legend? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's in Legend. There's Kenny Baker blowing a horn.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Baker does my favourite line delivery of all time in this film.
Well, who do that? Oh, it's so good.
I love it. But again, I love the way Billy Barty knows that Willow's the one. But
he does, yeah.
But he's got to go through some adventures first. It's a bit of an esoteric question, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
When you tell me I'm right or wrong, how do you prove? No, mate.
No, because Willow says, he kind of...
He thought of his own.
Yeah. Because it's one of the very early memories of this movie, because in '88 I was 6 years old, and there was tie-ins with coloured cornflakes, and you get these little kind of like this sort of static kind of figures, like there's a stuck in one pose, maybe an inch, no, about 2 inches tall, maybe, I think. I think they were red or green or something like that. But I remember that the front would have Willow on the box on the back as well, and I always wanted Mad Mardigan as a kid. I just wanted that figure, but I kept getting Willow in the packets. Yeah,
God damn it.
Yeah, and there was a video game for the old. I think Nintendo has an arcade game, which is kind of a platformer kind of collecting things. It was a very difficult arcade game, actually, by Capcom. They did try to sort of, push it as much as sort of Star Wars and stuff. But I don't think
there was a huge marketing push behind this.
I don't think there was action figures. I don't think there
There must have been. There must have been.
Yeah. I don't recall seeing any. That girl actually looks like she's genuinely crying there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, Ron, what did you do?
Yeah, it's very good. Because earlier on when he's, kind of arguing with his wife about keeping the child, he goes, "Oh, they'll blame me," whatever, and all this stuff. And he was like, the acting was so genuine, And because the woman who plays his wife is brilliant because she just plays it so down to earth.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's always quite it's quite sad at the end, actually. Quite well. It's happy as well.
Yeah.
When she sees him return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's genuine. It's so genuine. It's lovely. Yeah.
Those dog things scared the crap out of me as kids,
Yeah, cool. And the James Horner is just going nuts. It's like,
what sort of instrument is that?
It's all pan flutes.
Pan flutes, that's it, yeah.
Pan pipes and there's an amazing bit coming up when Mad Martin first walks off with the baby and he goes, you have my word of honor, and James Horner just does this amazing little discordant moment in the pan flutes. It's so good. It's all right. I'll go nuts about it when we get to it. This score is wonderful. It's got all of the Horner tropes. It's got all of his the stuff that he leans on all the time. Which some people sort of slag him off about, but I don't, because they're all great. But he's a master at, or he was a master at spotting, scoring, making the music change at the right moment, making the music hit the moments, making it, change key when it needs to. He was a master at it.
There's still no expanded score for Willow. There's the old sort of CD release they did. I think you can get it digitally as well, but it's interesting because some of the tracks are like 14 minutes long, one's 10 minutes.
Yeah. I remember when I first
they're
got
not broken down into
this huge long tracks.
Yeah, it's like a bit annoyed because I was like, where's the cue I want? I've got to find it now. I've got to fast forward all this.
Well, I had it on vinyl, so I could just got to know where on the vinyl it was, so I could just lift up the needle, proper needle drop.
Yeah, because I remember when this Blu-ray came out, they had obviously remastered the picture, and I think the colours in that look gorgeous. I think they may have actually slightly improved it.
It's a great looking film, but yeah, it looks good. You definitely haven't got your motion smoothies turned on this screen.
No, not on there. Well, no, I turned mine off.
There you go.
Avoid all that.
Well, you must have seen me on the news at 10 then, telling people.
Brad was on the news talking to people about that motion blurring crap they have on TV on these modern TVs.
When Tom Cruise comes out and says something, then they call me. Obviously, I mean, who wouldn't? But yeah, look at it. It looks great. The earth, because this is all very earthy tones. Very there it is. Who do that? But if you look, it's all very earthy, but it feels colourful as well. Like the colours they're not popping, like it's not oversaturated, but it looks colourful.
They're colourful, but they've been put through the wash a little bit. So
it's muted, it's pulled back, but it doesn't look dull. The bones tell me nothing. Billy Boy did do this little look when he goes, "I shall consult the bones." He's like,
like he does, like he's a bit of a con artist as well.
He's talking bullshit.
I love that when they said, "Oh, Willow," and his wife's like, "No," she's like so annoyed.
Yeah,
I've seen him before in something else. He may have popped up in maybe an episode of Seinfeld. I'm not sure. He's been around. I've seen him before, and the black guy who joins them, he's been in tons of stuff.
I love this. Billy Boy's just like, right, I'm gonna sod you up now.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck him over.
Yeah.
It's all riddle.
Yep. So yeah, well the great follow the bird moments coming up, but the
Shit's on him, doesn't it?
yeah, well that's at the end.
That's
Isn't
at the
it?
end,
This one just goes back to the village. It's going back to the village. Ignore the bird. Oh, I love these acorns. So this is there's a great bit of score here where Horner uses bagpipes.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I remember that bit. Oh, trolls and trolls are a bit weird in this. I don't actually look like the trolls you kind of you see in other sort of fiction.
Yeah, well they just look like people in costumes.
Yeah, really hairy tramps.
They look like some cast members of Cats went out and got drunk and slept in the gutter. But I like the way you really buy Warwick Davis as their dad, even though he's only 18 when he did this.
Yeah, I mean the end. He sort of obviously he got the job on Return of the Jedi because there was a casting call, wasn't there? And he loves Star Wars, and he got to play Wicket, and he had the genius idea of sort of mimicking his dog. When Wicket's sort of looking and turning his head,
the cocking of the head thing.
Yeah, that was sort of his showing skills at a time as an actor, and he wasn't a trained actor at all. But then he obviously, went under the wing of George Lucas and did those spin-off Ewok movies, Caravan of Courage and Battle for of Endor, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then did this. And this it feels like he's had years of experience.
Yeah.
He's not behind a mask. He's not playing an Ewok.
No.
So he's the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, the film is on his shoulders.
Yes.
And it's really,
really impressive.
It's like here we go.
I love this bit.
Follow the bird.
The reaction of the baby.
Yeah. Here we go. These are the bagpipes.
Oh yeah, but it all transitions into the Willow theme.
Yeah,
which is or maybe a Lorna Dannon.
It's the Laura Dannon theme. Yeah,
that's
the proper theme. Doesn't really come in until the fight on the fight on the cart.
That's something. Yeah. But yeah, when they cross it, the matte paintings here are brilliant.
These are some of the best matte paintings ever. It's wonderful. I'd have these things hanging up on my wall.
Sick on vocal.
Oh yeah.
Sick.
right in the face.
Oh yes, the matte paint. Sorry, coming up after.
Yeah,
we cut to the bad guys now, and then it comes back.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But these are, the castles are matte painting.
That's right. It's supposed to be this kind of, obviously, maybe like the 14th century of England, but there's where the castle is doesn't really kind of feel like a castle you'd see in other sort of, I suppose, fantasy movies, because they're always sort of surrounded by trees and stuff. It's out in kind of middle of nowhere, isn't it? It feels like it's.
Right. I think the design of Kale is flipping brilliant.
Oh, he's like, Darth Vader like character, isn't he?
He is totally supposed to be Darth Vader. There's no doubt about it. The parallels with him are great, but I think that the design of his helmet is up there with the design of Vader's helmet. I remember first seeing a still from this in a magazine, and it was
Starburst, was it?
And it was, and I just thought, wow, that looks amazing.
I remember this film being quite scary as a child because of the dogs and him and the Siskel and Ebert monster at the end. By Phil Tippett,
which I love. But yeah, well, we'll get into all that. But yeah, no, the design of this film is pretty spectacular.
This is done at Elstree, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
still owned by Canon.
I believe
Films at the time.
At the time, it was Canon. Yeah.
This is before they kind of dissolved and the studio was
turned it
chopped
into a
in half.
supermarket.
And the Elstree Studios was kind of basically gutted. Only a little bit sort of kind of remains of what it used to be.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
It's a small studio.
Because basically all the stuff they used in Superman and Roger Rabbit and this all kind of gone really.
Yep, that's all gone. It's it's still got the Lucas stage there.
Because Robin Hood Men of Thieves kind of used, I think, a bit at the end. Well, for the third act when they're fighting the big monsters, kind of, I think the same location they use at Elstree for the Robin Hood bit with the castle.
Yeah.
Where they have a big battle and blow up those drums full of gunpowder.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That
is incredible, Matt.
That is so beautiful.
No CGI at all.
Oh, I miss these things. I really want to bring them back. They're just wonderful.
Oh, Horner's score is so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's tremendous. Like I love Howard Shore's music for Lord of the Rings.
Oh, it's some of the best.
But this for me is better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I love both, man. I can't.
No, I love them both.
Howard
absolutely.
Howard Shore's has got more. There is more themes to it, bigger themes.
I would disagree. and Howard Shore's across 3 films. I'd say this one film's probably got as many themes in it as the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy. But
because when you hear Howard Shore's, like especially with the Shire, that just evokes it just reminds you of England.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh yeah, it's absolutely wonderful.
Captures those things what Tolkien had written.
That scared. Yeah, that scared the bollocks out of everyone in the cinema. That bit.
I love this bit. I trust him completely. He's such a coward, isn't he, Burgle?
Yeah.
He's just all about just like greed and being in power, but doesn't actually want to do anything. That's great framing as well.
Yeah.
Because in the pan and scan, you wouldn't even see those other dudes. You just see Burgle and Willow.
No.
Look at that. The reaction there is brilliant.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? His little reactions to them.
He was just winding him up.
Yeah. And she's looking at him like...
Because it follows that kind of mold with the casting where you have everyone's English, British, in
Yep.
the film, and it's kind of setting
Yep.
it's very clearly set in the past in England.
Yep.
But then you had the hero's American.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's that sort of usual trait of Hollywood films where because you've got trying to appeal to the American market,
Yep.
where they think that the audience won't fully get behind it because there's no American in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I always kind of false marketing bollocks.
Yeah,
I think.
we had that a lot back in that time for sure.
Also,
You know,
Dragon
still-
Slayer had it as well.
Yeah, where they were trying to push Peter McNichol as a leading man.
That was so bizarre.
I know.
It's how good he is at comedy. Come
I know.
Ghostbusters 2.
Exactly.
He steals that
It's
movie.
like from Dragon Slayer to Ghostbusters 2. It's like,
Evil.
everything you're doing is
child,
wrong.
the
I
child.
just want you to know this. But yeah, but it never really bothered me.
Well, it doesn't bother me when they have the American actor who's I suppose skilled enough to do an English accent legitimately. I think to make it work because they can do it. A lot of them can do it very, very well.
Hang on,
Sometimes
this is brilliant. Ooh.
so scared.
It's one of my favourite lines. Anyway,
I
sorry.
mean, it goes pack. But Val isn't doing an accent. He's just doing this kind of voice.
No.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's a major issue, but I just think it's kind of interesting that they.
I think it was one of those things that
they just thought
that
was
we
fine.
kind of grew up with it. Like my mum always had a problem with it. She was like, oh God, it's like she always would watch something like this and go, but Americans weren't even around in this when this is supposed to be set. It's like it really didn't drive. And she hated Prince of Thieves, because of Kevin Costner, whereas I loved Prince of Thieves.
Oh, my dad thought it was ridiculous with his accent.
Yeah,
because they spend so much money and time and photographing something that looks legitimately like the 14th century or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they have someone turn up and he's got an American accent.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
Wait a minute, what's...
Yeah,
You know.
or you. It's like photographing something really beautifully and authentically Middle Ages, and then you have Matthew Broderick in it and a discotheque score.
Oh, Lady Hawk, yeah. Yeah.
And then you have Lady Hawk. This really feels authentic that before that before a battle happens that this kind of stuff will be going on. These random horses,
And they've got a huge
charging.
army, which is not, doubled with optical
No,
effects
no,
or
this
CG.
is all for real.
It's all for real, yeah. I do like the bit in the moment because we just sort of talked over it, but he kind of woke up and he's like, he's calmed down now.
Yeah,
and
like,
trying
morning,
to be,
boys.
He's trying to be polite.
rough
to
night
them.
last night.
yeah. He's cleaning his teeth,
Yeah.
with like I don't know what he's using.
Yeah, it's like he's using a bit of wood to
Yeah.
clean his teeth off.
Look at him, such a he's just guilt tripping him into giving him water. As they kind of should do, really, but I don't know how he poos in that thing. He'll stick his arse over the side somehow, and then it kind of all fall out.
Look at that! Look at that!
That is pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's like what? 200 extras, maybe more.
More than that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they probably would have done, like have the first 50 have all the detailed armor, and the rest wouldn't.
Yeah,
the
the rest
sort
would
of
all be
just
like
wouldn't,
in
just wouldn't be
little
photographed.
Bits
You
of
wouldn't-
plastic.
Out of the way!
Oh, wait, puck.
Oh, here we go.
Here he is.
Good old Brad
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah. Ken, you son of a bitch.
He's great in this, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad, show you how it's done.
Does look a bit like Jake Busey a little bit.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that we never see who, the powers of his other army, who's in charge of it.
Yeah,
It's kind of
like the big, leaders, the political,
the king, whatever it is. I don't know.
The kings and all that. It's all beyond Willow's world.
Yeah,
he just sees this part of it, and then by virtue of what he's doing, gets pulled right into the apex of it without seeing any of the other stuff going on around it. But I love it. I think you really get a sense of a past between those two, between Mad Mardigan and
Willow,
and Brad.
Mm. Eric. He's called Eric.
Yeah, Eric. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's at the end of the battle, Mad Mardigan's upset that Eric's died.
Yeah,
and they were friends, but obviously because Eric has his allegiance to the army, and where Mad Mardigan just doesn't he doesn't show respect for authority.
Yeah. But I love the way in this shot, if you look in the background of those shots of Willow, the
smoke machine,
the smoke machine,
but they're so far away, but it's giving you this huge depth of
exactly,
like scopes,
and it's there because an army's just gone through there. But you can bet that these shots were shot on a totally different day that army was there. So
that's like a pickup.
Yeah,
it's like a set actually.
Studio, yeah. I wouldn't steal from a baby.
He does it like he's from some sort of rock band, something like Faith No More or something. It's like Mike Patton or something. I presume they probably shot some of his stuff like maybe on location in Wales, maybe.
Mm.
Because this took a while to come out on DVD. I remember back in the early 2000s.
This is a bit.
Yeah,
the way that pamphlet comes in.
That sounds very kind of like Oriental kind of thing they used to do, like Bill Conti would do, like Karate Kid or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took forever to. I remember I had to import the DVD of this because I remember I tried to get it on Laserdisc, but it was made by Sony, pressed by Sony, and it had awful laser rot, so it's unplayable. Never find a clean version.
The thing is, a lot of this was shot in New Zealand, before.
Oh God,
before
yes.
Lord of the Rings did it.
That's right. Yeah, because I think to myself,
a lot of those mountain shots with the snowy peaks. That was all New Zealand.
See, George Lucas knows it before Peter Jackson.
Yep.
Even though Peter Jackson lived there.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I'm not a huge fan of the brownies.
You're not a huge fan of the
brownies. As a kid, I found it quite amusing, but as an adult, I was just like,
they're a bit too much.
Yeah, unnecessary kind of forced humour from them. But yeah, Brad was sort of talking yesterday about, we were sort of having a few beers, and about the sort of motion control stuff they did with the brownies, which is really good. So Brad will point that out later on when it kicks in.
Yeah. Well, this, okay, when I was watching this as a kid, I was getting to that age where I was knowing how effects were done and appreciating them. And
you saw it at cinema, didn't you? You saw it.
I did, yeah. And when they started doing all this stuff, the funny thing is that they're holding back because all the shots so far have been very static with the brownies, like this stuff. But then I think the first time you see one moving is when he's on top of Willow and he's being dragged. Yeah. So this bit, like watching that brownie standing on him and him motion tracking with all the movements of Willow, which, you know, this, of course, this stuff is easy to do now, but at the time I was like, what? How are you doing that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was, you know, you look at it carefully now, you can see it's not quite, you know,
it's a slight wobble.
Yeah,
isn't
it sort of goes out of sync a little bit and that. But at the time, I mean, again, this is all optical, guys. It's all optical comping. There's no digital comping going on here. This is all pre-Last Crusade, which had the first digital comps.
I think there's some great, actually, because this is, as you were saying, the motion control and the optical stuff. There's Army of Darkness was Sam Raimi's version where they used Introvision.
Yeah.
For those bits where they got loads of little ashes running around trying to get it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's actually pretty effective.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. But this would have. There's no way this would have won the Oscar. Sorry, there's no way this wouldn't have won the Oscar if it just didn't happen to come out the same year as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And Who Framed Roger Rabbit beat it to the Oscar, which, you know, quite rightly so.
But it's another. I think it's more impressive. I think really what they managed to do.
Yeah, but both these movies are pretty pushing the boundaries of what was possible effects wise.
That lady is a very similar technique to sort of the ghost in Ghostbusters. The lady sort of hovers over Dan Aykroyd. You know.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I was almost convinced this was a shared universe with Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she was the same ghost that came out of the Ark at the end and turns into a skeleton. Theories. Yeah, I was like, looks like the same ghost. I love the way it all like. And then I love the way she comes back. She's like, she does her own close up. She's like, I'm going to be big now. I'm going to be in your face.
Because obviously, you know, this is I was saying similarities with Lord of the Rings. They're basically hobbits, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
You know, from the Shire.
Yeah, totally.
And you could say Mad Mardigan's kind of the Strider character.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings with a bit of a Star Wars template on it. Because most people were comparing Mad Mardigan to Han Solo at the time.
Oh yeah, because he's got that cocky attitude, isn't he? A swashbuckler, you know. Yeah, because Warwick Davis, I think, lives nearby where I live. He lives, I think it's in Peterborough, just outside,
right?
Not far from Cambridge.
Yep, just up here. Not the A1 or the M1 or whatever it is.
It's A14, I think.
Yeah. So this is I remember distinctly this shot here. I was like, "Whoa! Hang on, you're moving the camera about, and these little blokes are like jumping around. What's going on?"
He's got the eye line down as well.
Yeah.
And who was this guy again? I can't remember his name. Stephen Pollock, yes. Great podcast show he does on YouTube.
Yep.
He interviews a bunch of celebrity mates, as it were.
Yeah, you know exactly. Well, he's been around. I
saw
him in Cannes one time.
What did you?
Yeah, sort of walking out the hotel and going out for the evening.
Tons of stuff, isn't he? I mean, it just pops up, you know.
Well, I love him in A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men was one of my favourite films. He's so good in that. He's very, very funny in it.
Nah.
I just don't know why they decided to make them French.
Yes, yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like, why?
and go into the world of men.
Yeah, yep. Is that Brie?
Hobbits.
Get out of here, Peck. We don't serve your kind here. What? Your brownies. They'll have to wait outside. But the thing is, you've got to give it credit because of course, it's stealing off Lord of the Rings, and there's a lot of Lord of the Rings in this in terms of, from the books. But there was no attempt of making the Lord of the Rings into movies at this point. They tried to do it. I think John Boorman had tried to do it, and it didn't happen. And the result of that became Excalibur.
Right, because I know there was an animated movie, wasn't there?
There was.
It was only on Fellowship and Two Towers.
Yeah, it was Fellowship and Two Towers. Well, most of Two Towers.
Mm.
It's like, I really want to know what he thinks he's going to do.
Yeah,
with that full-size lady.
Yeah. I don't know. Crawl inside her or something.
I'm not saying it. I wouldn't be up for it, but it's like
he just gets trapped inside.
Yeah,
it's like, gets digested.
Let me out. Let me out. It's like, running the wrong. Sorry, this is. But come on, you can't blame us. You've got this tiny little bloke who wants to do something with this. But now he's falling in love with the cat.
Have a tabby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always found this Dust of Broken Hearts thing a bit clumsy as a plot thing. Like I don't get me wrong. When Magmarden gets it and the way Val Kilmer does it, I love it. It's great.
Oh, it's brilliant.
But it's like, why have they got it? Why, he's like, and it just randomly comes out when it's needed. Obviously, here they're just using it to set it up as what it is.
Yeah,
but it just feels a little bit clumsy. But and here we go, Val Kilmer in a dress.
How do I look?
How do I look? You.
Taking a pee-pee.
Crawling with brands. And Lug. Gentlemen, meet Lug.
Is this Michael Kamen? Strolls in.
No, this was the template for Hagrid.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hilda.
Hello. Don't be shy.
Oh, girlie, don't be shy. Again, all this stuff was pretty crazy with the brownies.
He's like, "Do you want to breed?"
Like, want to breed? Yeah, see, that's how I kept chatting girls up after this film. For some reason, I never got much success. Want to breed? You're no woman.
No, because also it shows you here that the not a woman that when Mad Mardigan finds her attractive, he doesn't need the love potion, as it were.
Yeah, no,
because it would just be like, well, he's not. That was all put on. She takes the hat off and he's like, "Oh, you're beautiful."
Yeah. And and then they got married after this film.
Yeah, they were together for quite a long time. Actually. Yeah. Was it late 90s they sort of separated?
I think so. Yeah, I think they had a good 10 years at it. I think good run. Meet Lug. Here we go. And now this score kicks in, which is just tremendous. And when they're riding off, it still cuts back to this place. You still hear him yelling out, "She's not a woman!"
yeah.
I think we have one or two Wilhelm screams coming up.
Bloody Ben Burt and the bloody Wilhelm screams.
Boom.
The guy feels so ashamed, doesn't he?
Yeah. This score is so good.
Yeah. This is the kind of score that would actually probably fit Robin Hood.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Half respect because it conks him on the head.
Yeah, with Apple that's been his tit. Oop.
That's a good sound effect. That was.
Cool.
It really hurt.
I think this is a wonderful action scene. I love
this.
this.
Great, isn't it?
I think it's brilliantly shot, brilliantly cut, with a brilliant score. It's you know. Because I always love when they're hanging off the cart at the end and the wheels are collapsing.
Yeah,
on the
they
cart,
always break apart.
Yeah, it's so good. Just yelled out shit in French.
Oh. There's no suspension on those things.
Yeah.
It just really hurt.
Yep.
You feel the full brunt of that vibration. I should have had like Tony Robinson as one of them, sort of a callback to Baldrick or something as one of them, you know. No.
Boom. Ooh, right in the balls. And up.
Cool.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh, I would have got his fingers then.
And then we just cut to the throwing star.
Oh yeah, that's
Love that.
it's shuriken. Then.
Yeah.
it's that's what Horner used in Aliens, isn't it? That sort of sound.
The clinking noise.
I love the sort of spinning of the sort of ball and chain thing he's got.
Yeah.
The sound it makes. It's really good sound design in this. Well, I mean, Ben Burt's always. I'm sure it's Ben Burt on this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ben Burt.
His catalogue of laser blasts and Wilhelm screams.
Yep. I think it's at the end here, isn't it? I think we get a Wilhelm when this goes over, if I'm remembering right. There we go. Yep, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
See, I know my Wilhelm screams. That's how sad I am. But yeah, it's a great sequence. Love it. I think most people I knew felt that this film really dragged up until this point, and then they enjoy it. They enjoy it after this, but they always thought that the first sort of act is quite long and slow. But I like it. I think, it just builds.
It's like, Willow is kind of now acts like this sort of very much concerned parent, like a nagging mother to Mad Mardigan. It's like, what?
Yeah, no, exactly. He's the nagging wife. He's a.
It's a bit in a minute I love where he goes, which way are you going?
Yeah.
And this way, oh no!
Oh no!
I was going that way.
And he sounds really cockney when he says it. He goes, oh
no! You're some kind of sorcerer. He's like,
take these 2 lizards out and drown them. Big dogs.
It's like Mad Mardigan. He's obviously short tempered as well, but he always kind of needs some sort of approval with things because he's such a. I suppose he's sort of he's lost his way.
Yeah.
Because at the end, it kind of implies that he's become this sort of king or prince, doesn't it? Because he marries. Well, he falls in love with the princess, and then they sort of take over that castle.
I guess they're gonna
becomes, I don't know, the lord of the manor of the shire of I don't know where it's supposed to be set. Warwickshire. There we go.
No. Warwickshire. But I think when you see it at the end, there's like a king and queen there as well.
Oh,
just sort of standing in the background, if I remember rightly.
sort of deleted scene or something.
Yeah, like who the hell are they?
Is it Sean Connery again?
Yeah, sure.
Is Arthur?
Stop this wedding.
Look at that, Matt.
Matte paintings.
Fucking seamless.
Look,
it's incredible.
This is kind of a peak of that art form.
It really is.
It's old Pat Roach
from Alfie the Same Pet TV show and Raiders.
Yep.
And Temple of Doom.
And Last Crusade. Even though the fight scene he was in was cut out of Last Crusade, but he's still in it as the running up to the.
Because he died. Is it the 90s he died? If it was a heart attack or something like that?
He died. Yeah. Well, I can't remember when he died, but it was a few years ago. Bless him. He was great.
King of Kashmir.
It's like. It's what he blows himself up into the tree.
That's right, yeah. What'd you up there?
He goes, oh, there you are.
How's he going to get down?
I quite like that. It's a nice little gag. Yeah, so that's got to be New Zealand, surely.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, talking about the effects, obviously the groundbreaking thing that this movie is most known for is the first use of morphing.
Yeah, you see, she had kind of transformed into different forms,
which obviously we're going to see, and they helped it a lot. They used puppets and they used all kinds of things to make the transformations kind of stitched together.
Yeah,
but it blew people away. And again, you watch it now, and it's a basic morphing technique that we've seen a million times now. But at the time, it was really brilliant. It did blow your mind.
Yeah, everyone started using it at that point, that software, because obviously Star Trek 6 had used it. What else? We had T2, obviously, had the sort of variation of that morphing technique with the T1000.
Yeah.
And Robocop 3 had used some of it.
And it was also used in Michael Jackson's black and white video.
Yes, that's right.
Directed by John Landis. But still, everything is still optically comped, So again, it's like, even though this is known for one of its big digital revolutions, it's still all strips of 35mm film going through optical printers.
I imagine the morphing stuff is kind of like, taken from a high-res video. Sort of do it and put it on film.
Yeah, it would be scanned onto neg. I love it because he does give a shit, and he's got a rapport with the baby now. But then he's going to come back.
Yeah, because he gets captured, doesn't he?
And it's made to look like he's brought them there, but he hasn't. And then you hear him say, "Told you we'd find them without your help," which I think was a dubbed line put in to clarify.
Man, Monica's not a complete arse.
Yep. What are you looking at? Your leg. I'd like to break it. I love your social. I don't love her. She kicked me in the face. So now we meet what's her face? Patricia Hayes, who we'd seen in Neverending Story. Obviously, just her voice at the moment.
What? Who was she in Neverending Story again?
She's the wife of the.
Yes.
Of the,
yes, that's right. That's right.
Gnomes.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was turned, wasn't she, into a creature, or had this curse put on her when she was very young, wasn't she? Then she sort of, when she morphs back into a human form, she's a very old lady.
Yeah. And of course, this same year, she was probably most remembered for being the old lady with the 3 Yorkie dogs in Fish Called Wonder.
A Fish Called Wonder, yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to kill her dog. We're trying to kill her. Mickey's killing her dogs by mistake.
Yeah, and he's an animal lover.
Oh, God.
It's brilliant. It's
good
brilliant.
Palin. So good at that role.
Fish Called Wonder is genius. It's a wonderful film.
Ken's pets.
Oh, look, it's Ken coming to kill me.
You going to shoot me? He goes, yes, afraid so, old chap.
Afraid so, old chap. Sorry. And Stephen Fry. Oh, look, the Queen. Where? Yeah, Kevin Kline is brilliant in it. Asshole. I call that out when I'm in the car and someone cuts me off. So this is the animation I'm thinking
On the mouth,
yeah.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you pay close attention to it, you can see the sort of the black matte line, but it's it's very well done.
Keep your mouth shut. Yeah, this was in New Zealand, obviously. There's a New Zealand accent coming out of the soldiers. The way they're like, yeah, and grab that little that little chipmunk because they obviously with them.
He must be freezing, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was known as Joanne Wally Kilmer for years.
Oh, really?
After this, yeah.
I've seen what I remember her from was The Man Who Knew Too Little.
Right.
That Bill Murray sort of remake.
Yeah.
Something. She was in that. That film was a massive bomb.
Yeah.
I quite like that film.
But yeah.
Good score by Chris Young.
Oh yeah.
Very jazzy.
Good old Chris. But the she popped up in a few things here and there. She was in a movie called Shattered that I think was a Wolfgang Peterson film.
Mm.
And she was most known because she was playing Christine Keeler in Scandal. Noctur. She's just come up to taunt him.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Do you think she's because he said, I said to her earlier on that he thought she was beautiful.
Yeah,
but she keeps.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, she thinks she's kind of like.
Yeah,
that's sort of maybe bullying them because she does fancy him or something.
Yeah, it's like a school. It's like playground stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like because you can imagine that they, he obviously, he just. He goes from woman to woman, just sort of like, but he probably pays for most of it, and she's probably never had a boyfriend or anything like that, so they're probably quite immature in their, when they really do fancy someone. So it's like, so it is like that, especially they know they're on separate sides. But I mean, I'd buy it. I like it. I don't mind it. The whole her flipping and all that. What just stretches it a little bit for me is when she goes up and kisses him in the middle of that battle, and it's like, but there's the army's all around them.
I know,
and yeah, I know they're distracted by the two-headed dragon at the time, but that's it. It's the dragon and him. There's no one else they're fighting. It's like, yet they just give them time to have that little snog in the middle.
I suppose cinematically it kind of
I don't
throw it in there, but it's a bit unrealistic. I think you'd really wait a bit later for a quick snog.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but it at the time it didn't worry me. And again, you don't realise it, but he's not had a sword yet.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no. But we're not far off where he actually does get it, and
we see him use it. It's really fucking cool. I was like, well, as a kid, I was like, wow,
yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and the music is great, and it all goes, and then you have that little you are a great bit, and he flips it and stacks it in the snow, which I love. I love that.
Because that's the Han Solo thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where he's just like, yeah, I'm good. He just like makes a tit of himself.
Yeah, exactly. Just. This is where she said, "What will you look like?" I was a young and beautiful woman. Concentrate, Willow.
Yeah.
Now, how the hell did they get there?
It took them forever.
It's quite a nice little, trope, isn't it? This female sorceress that just he keeps trying to change her back and just changes her into different animals every time. And here we go. And this is the clumsy dust of broken hearts bit again. Boom. It's like we have to say that just to remind people.
It's all like, he feels good now, doesn't he?
Yeah. I feel good. It'll be fun.
His teeth are now jet white.
Yeah.
Over the course of the movie, since we first saw him, it was all yellowy teeth. Now he's somehow cleaned them jet white.
I always feel that all this constant referring to the dust of broken hearts are pick-up shots where they wanted to
maybe they
solidify to the audience why he was behaving the way he was.
Yeah,
but I don't think you needed them. I think you got it.
Also, it's kind of like, does it any work if you spot someone you kind of vaguely find attractive, then it kicks in? I don't know, because he literally looked at Willow and gone, I thought he fell in love with him.
Yeah. It's like, and that would have been a whole different movie.
His face.
We always used to think in tents like this, it would be such a fire hazard to be sleeping with all those candles around you.
Oh, God, yes.
This is good. I like this.
It's like kind of sort of spouting poetry.
Yeah. For tonight, let me worship you in my arms.
Jackass.
She's putting on an American accent.
Yeah.
Because she's English. She has got amazing hair. you can't deny it.
Uncontrollable ginger hair. Oh, he's winning her over.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
See, just spout some poetry at him and...
Deceiver.
Yeah.
There you go, he gets a quick snog.
There we go.
So it's not a lie.
Absolutely. Get
This
one.
is brilliant.
Yeah, here we go.
What a reveal of his skills.
This is so good. Here we go. Yes. Okay, now coming up is the bit that was always the clip on TV.
Oh, when it goes over the cliff bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it on some of the shots where you can tell it's a dummy on the.
Yeah, his head's just wobbling like
wobbling
this.
about. I love this because the film kind of, it really goes up a gear now. It kind of doesn't stop.
Yeah, because the dummy's Willow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously there's a stunt man playing Mad Mardigan.
Yeah.
Just imagine like James Bond whizzing past on a visa a kill or something.
Chased by a helicopter.
Yeah. Oh, I love this bit when he rolls into a massive snowball, doesn't he? Like there's a dummy.
Yeah, there's a dummy. I just want to see footage of them both in the ADR suite doing all that.
You just see his legs sticking out the side. Great gag. He has such a killer headache when he.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, well, how do we snap him out of the dust of broken hearts? I don't know. Have him come down on a giant snowball. Look at that scenery. I mean, so many.
Would this be New Zealand as well? I think so. It's hard to.
Possibly, or it could be Wales.
No, that wouldn't be Wales there, would it? Iceland?
They have they have some high ground there. But I suspect it's New Zealand, but yeah, I think most of the mountain stuff was done in New Zealand.
Mm.
I love that random guy that just comes into frame.
What was that?
It's like, what was that?
Yeah, because he's now genuinely in love with her now, even though wasn't that the potion.
Yeah, even from that angle, looking up her nose, he.
Yeah. What fabulous bogies you've got. Oh, this is where he kidnaps her, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yep.
She's got a pretty nasty sword, hasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a swordfish.
Keep the baby quiet.
It needs to be changed.
She's carrying a massive turd in her nappy.
She just shat herself. So I think this is great. You buy this character development and you buy this conflict.
We see Mad Martin go through a lot of changes.
Yeah,
and he just needed someone to have faith in him, because he's also been accused of something like stealing and stuff like that. He's saying he's not a thief.
Yeah,
I think he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But also, as Eric said, he only follows himself. It's obviously his issue of authority and following a commander. He's reckless. That's the thing. But his heart's in the right place.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I love the way Eric comes out and still buys him time.
Yeah, Eric's an awesome character.
He's great. Oh, God, that score. They don't score movies like this anymore.
There's no more James Horner, sadly. It's just so unfortunate, isn't it? He's dying in a bloody helicopter accident. It's just like,
Absolutely.
Relatively young age, it's like 62 or something like that.
I think he was dead on 60.
It's so much.
Look at this painting. Look at this map.
That's incredible stuff. That's wonderful. It's he got to a position where he was very selective in what he did at that point.
Yeah,
in his career.
He'd fallen out of love with the studio system, but I was convinced there was a second coming. There was going to be a revival of the Horner stuff, and I would have been happy to have partook in that. Yeah,
it would have been great to hear what he would have done with Avatar 2. I don't know who's going to replace him.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But when he died, when I posted my little tribute to him, I said, thanks to James Horner for making a bunch of old geezers backing a large spaceship very slowly out of a docking bay, one of the most exciting scenes in cinema history.
Yeah,
it's like Star Trek 3, the stealing the Enterprise sequence is just fantastic. It's really just down to Horner's score. And the effects work as well, but it's just so thrilling just because of the music.
I think for me as a kid, it was probably this or The Rocketeer that really kind of like, oh wow, who's this guy, James Horner? A quick stamp in the balls.
She really punches him in the throat.
I need my wench. Damn it. And she's turned back to look at him.
Yep.
which he did. I think it's like a reverse, isn't it? Because he did the same to her. I think.
Yeah.
He had to go.
It is cool. I think it's a nice little setup, you know.
Well, yeah, because we know it's clear that she's obviously been manipulated by her mother.
Yeah.
Mother's evil. She's been tricked. It's like the Emperor and Darth Vader, essentially, where he's, being manipulated.
It's like she's not really had any experience of anyone outside of her mother's influence.
Yeah. And she's been backing the wrong horse, you know. She's are we the bad guys?
Yes. Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah.
What was Mitchell and Webb?
Mitchell and Webb,
dressed as Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, we the bad guys.
We might be the bad guys.
We've got skulls on our on our hats or something, you know.
So I'm assuming all these people frozen in these rocks are who we see at the end.
Yes. This is very to me like Return to Oz.
Yeah.
Where you've got this, you know, the land people of Oz who have been kind of turned to stone.
Yeah.
He's cursed back.
He's cursed back.
Oh, big poo.
Trolls. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Who else is going to have done this?
Finally, he can get his hands on a multitude of weapons.
Yeah. He's going to Home Alone it.
I love the body armor he finds.
Yeah. Well, when he just runs out in it. It looks at him like, what? What are you wearing?
Yeah. So, as we were saying earlier, probably near the beginning of the commentary, where one of my little complaints of the movie was that it was too long.
Yeah.
And people sort of found little sections a little bit boring, because the problem, I think, with it is that there isn't much story going on now. They get to a point, they have another battle, then they get to the next location, have another battle. There isn't much going on there. There isn't much, and we haven't really cut back to Morticia's. Is it Morticia?
Bad
Morda, yeah. A daughter's called
Saoirse.
Saoirse, sorry,
Yep.
yeah. Wasn't Morticia for mad. But when we cut back to her that much, she's not really on camera.
No.
We've just got more of the army kind of coming in, and I think that's probably one of its issues. It kind of runs out of actually adding much more plot to it, instead of having to sort of resolving into another punch up.
Yeah, but
I mean, I like the action scenes; they're great.
Yeah, you got a two-headed dragon coming up now, so stop your bitching, you know. It's like, you know,
Ollie, stop nitpicking.
Oi,
but yeah, I think that's
you're right. It's structurally it could have done with just a bit of tightening, so that because all the stakes are quite well clearly defined. We know what's going on, and there's no real revelations happening now. So plot wise, it's just now.
It's kind of like no more big surprises
to resolve.
Story.
Really structurally, this battle should probably be the big final.
Yeah.
Really,
we should have had the big beast at the end at Bad Morda's castle.
Yeah.
While he battles that, and Willow goes in to fight her. So they could have combined that, because I think it's now coming up to an hour and a half into the movie.
Yeah.
You could have cut shy 20 minutes out of it.
You could have done that, yeah. But this is coming up is the bit that was always cut out in the UK version, when the troll rips its own skin off.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it always sort of cut to these tentacles coming out, and then it always cut before that, and suddenly it would just be this brain thing there. These two cute little dragon faces coming out.
Plop, plop.
And and now we're about to have phenomenally good monster in this movie. All go motion animation.
Now, because I mentioned earlier, because it was kind of its nickname was a Siskel and Ebert thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a combination of Siskel and Ebert. I can't remember what it actually was, but it was. And I remember everyone in the cinema absolutely cracking up at this bit.
Because Val Kilmer's reaction's brilliant.
He thinks they're running away from him.
He runs and joins them, doesn't he?
Look at that. Breathing fire and everything. Come on.
That's really good.
What more do you want? And then he's just standing there with them, and they all look at him. That's very Han Solo.
Yeah,
very Han Solo.
Chewie!
That's a comp, that rock flying in there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Look at it.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. The sound effects they've added, it does feel like it's the same sound design from Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's got the Ben Burt touch.
I like the long shots of the monster when it fires the flames.
Well, my favourite is when the heads turn towards camera and fire the flames straight at the camera. It's so good. And the score's doing it, and it's all doing it. Look at that!
That looks great there.
Look at that comping. It's tremendous.
Oh, this is your little bit you loved, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there in the cinema, I just went, oh, come on! I was like, what else can happen in this movie? I was like, it was like all this layer and layer and layer, and then that acorn turning that bit of bridge to stone just set me over the edge. I was like, God! Now this, I'm sure, was always edited.
Oh, it splits it in half.
Yeah. Yeah, it always. Yeah, I'm sure I've seen a version where you see the rest of that, and you see it pull that troll apart. I'm sure I've seen a version, but I might be wrong. Okay, here comes my favourite shot coming up.
That's my favourite.
Oh yeah,
shot.
that's fantastic.
The long shot. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
but it's this bit coming up now. This one. Ah, come on, come on.
I must do a Let's Play of the Willow arcade game.
Yeah.
See if I can complete the bloody thing.
He's so hot.
Yeah, look at him. He's so dreamy.
Yeah, he's so dreamy. Killing everyone.
He knocks himself out nearly.
And he just screams at the trolls. Boom. Like, another one down there. Yeah, and now we get the little itty bitty.
He looks so fed up here. He's like,
he's like, for
right, next one.
Yeah. Little itty bitty magma.
I remember though when you're saying with the monsters behind Val Kilmer and everyone's like running away.
Yeah.
Pan and scan of that looked dreadful.
Yeah.
It's like because it's this horrible kind of optical, but
grainy.
You're zooming in on it.
Yeah.
Not supposed to do.
And now this is genius. Like stabbing the monster through the head so it can't open its mouth.
Yeah.
And it tries to breathe fire and his head explodes.
This is brilliant.
Come on, this is Sam Raimi stuff here. This is amazing.
Now she's going to show her dominance now, isn't it, really?
It's like, come on. Poof. There we go. There. Lovely.
Taste of troll.
Lovely. There you go. Yep.
Ate his face off there.
Cool.
Sucking his life force like Roger Moore.
Yeah. Right, here we go. This is... It's like... boom.
Oh, great.
Come on. It's hilarious. This is the best way to kill a fire-breathing dragon.
That bloke just runs off on fire out the door.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I remember in the cinema going, yes, come on.
Eric's got a really cool sword because it's like a grip thing, isn't it?
Yeah, which is what Magmartin uses to kill Cal
that's
with.
right, yeah.
Yeah, chopped off version of it.
Yeah.
He stabs him with it. Because he breaks it.
And he shatters the bloke's skull mask, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He
And then that
around.
was always cut in the UK version.
Really?
Cal's death, yeah. Like it was obviously deemed too violent and
because they wanted it to be
nasty.
a PG, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's right. Because it was before 12, it would have been classified as 15.
Yeah.
Which they would not have had. Like,
No.
the studio gone, no.
No way. Yeah. No chance. But yeah, it just shows you it's pushing the violence of quite a bit.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's great. That's a great moment there with Warwick's acting because he's lost a child, he's been hurt, and he's upset. And
yeah. I have the child. It is great the way Cal just muscles through all the soldiers with the baby. It's like, yeah, come on, and gets out the other side. I have the child. Look at that matte painting.
it looks real.
It's insanely good.
I chose everyone to pigs, doesn't she?
Pigs. Yep. Pigs. Old pigs, yeah. And again, that was quite cut down in the
Yeah, because that was, it's quite grotesque.
Yeah.
You see people getting transformed and stuff,
She's going to go and change her head now.
Oh, yes, God!
Yep.
Yeah, she's in Return to Oz, isn't
Return
she?
to Oz. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I was just
Jean
thinking,
Marsh.
what else is she bloody in? I just can't remember.
Yeah, Return to
Yeah,
Oz.
she's great in that.
There's
She's
been
proper terrifying.
loads of British TV as well. Loads of upstairs, downstairs. I think she was.
What? Sorry.
Was it upstairs and downstairs? She was. She was in.
Oh yeah, she's at Hyde because she knows
Yeah.
gonna get.
She knows she's going to do
transformed
something.
into a pig.
So if he protects himself, and then they can change him back. It's quite dark. Oh,
I'm turning into bacon.
yeah. Jesus Christ! Burning up, hot. He strips all his clothes off and
That
turns into a
bit
elf.
there, that's pretty freaky.
When they come out and see these two little piglets. Yeah, all this stuff was this was cut out. All those sort of really mutated pig shots.
Yeah, you're right. Because when I saw the DVD edition years ago, because that was the US cut, so I was like, oh, what the hell? I just kind of didn't realise.
Yep. I think there's more.
A little laugh there. Just...
Yep. That stuff. Yeah, all this stuff was. Yep, this stuff was all cut out.
Oh, that's freaky.
Yeah. Just like such a long transformation. They're like, it's really horrible and nasty.
Something out of a horror film, isn't it?
Yeah. She's like a mummy.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been nice to know more about her, and how she's kind of came to power, but also has sort of a motive behind all this, and maybe she was good and turned evil. It's always this kind of the story structure of these fantasy movies. People have always just been never born evil.
We'll the two piglets.
Yeah,
we'll find out in the Netflix prequel series, which is bound to happen.
It's called Willow.
Willow. Okay, so here we go. So this is the first thing that really the public ever saw of morphine, and it blew everyone away. Again, this hands down, this would have got the Oscar if Roger Rabbit hadn't been around. So that's a puppet, and then
there's the morph there.
Morphed into a real thing. I love this little tortoise. Willow. And then this was the one that really blew everyone away. It's like
it turns into a tiger.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, she actually looks older in A Fish Called Wonder. I think, because when you see it, when she's out on the battlefield, essentially trying to, arguing with the witch. I don't know. It just sort of seems she seems a bit slightly younger.
Mm.
Her character has more energy and more.
Yeah, she's got more energy, and they frumped her up in Fish Called Wonder.
That's true. Yeah.
One at a time.
I'll take forever.
Yep. Herding pigs. Okay, this is like where you're like, okay, so Ron, how did you do this? How did you make this baby cry that way when it's all wrapped up in? Should have asked him. Imagine if I had the pleasure of watching Ron Howard work on the Solo set, watching him running up and down to the Millennium Vulcan, looking over his shoulder. I should have tapped him on the shoulder and gone, Ron, by the way, you know Willow? How did you make the baby cry so convincingly? And you've gone, who are you? Get out.
I mean, it was always natural for Ron to essentially direct a Star Wars film. I think it was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah, I wish that
he's been part of that family, really.
Yeah,
with Lucas, because he's been with Lucas since the days of American Graffiti.
I wish George had handed the prequels over to other people, and Ron Howard could have been one of those.
Yeah, I really wish that would have happened. I think it's also down to the sort of the Directors Guild, because Lucas isn't part of it, and I'm sure Ron probably was, and that's the thing about Spielberg. Wasn't Spielberg supposed to do Jedi, but he was part of the guild, and Lucas wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, because it was over. It was Empire Strikes Back that made George Lucas quit the guild.
Yeah. Because they annoyed that he didn't have an opening titles sequence with credits.
They insisted that because Lucasfilm came up at the front, it meant George Lucas had an opening title credit, but Irving Kershner didn't. But but I think George always wanted Spielberg to do what it starts from, but I always think that Spielberg was reluctant to do it because to him this was George's thing, and he didn't want to sort of mess it up.
I think Spielberg had storyboarded the fight at the end of Sith.
Yes, there are reports that he did, that he came in and helped out with all that, and
But that fight is just so bloody long-winded.
Yeah.
It just goes on.
Oh boy, yeah. It's just a lovely image. This, this old lady with grey hair and little Willow standing there. Two
It's a Gandalf and
Gandalf and the Hobbit. Yeah. Two unlikely heroes. Which I love. I'm always interested in that sort of imagery. I love the unlikely hero thing. God, look at it.
My eyebrows disagree.
Yeah. We just kill them. Those horses are doing really well staying under those blankets.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. They'd be freaking out, to be honest, wouldn't they?
Whoa.
Oh, shit. The brownies aren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Another Wilhelm scream there, for God's sake.
Yep.
Stop it.
There's been a few. Time to go to work. To the what?
Yeah.
Exile the child to the 13th what?
Night? I think it might be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff is kind of unexplained,
Yeah, but I never had a problem with it. I was always like, yeah, it's all black magic, weirdo, other realmy stuff, I'm sure there's a novelisation that I could have learnt all about it from.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll try and find it for you, Brad. The novel probably makes up the stuff that makes it kind of, you can understand a lot of her actions or the sort of the mythology of this. Oh, 2 days are going to battle it out.
Mm-hmm.
Handbags at dawn.
Yep, here we go. It's a couple of battle axes going for it.
Yeah. I love when Willow, because Willow throws the acorn, doesn't she? She grabs it.
Yeah.
Her hand turns to stone. It's great.
Yeah.
She looks older here, doesn't she?
Yeah. No, she's definitely. She's aged. It's like her evilness is sort of coming out. She's turning into a witch.
Yeah, that's that. I always thought it was a bit strange when she kind of suddenly just looks older. Maybe there's some sort of thing that she had to complete this ritual before she lost her powers. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Or it's just that, her true evil nature's coming out, which making her look ugly, which of course means this film would never have got funded by the BFI, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, yeah. Brad's own beef with the BFI.
I won't go down that. The way she says, "I have Cerylindria's wand, Bavmorda." It's like a couple of old ladies. There you go. Suppose they did something.
It's a third Wilhelm
another
scream.
Wilhelm.
For God's sake.
This is Willow, Wilhelm.
Willow's been
attacks.
remastered with extra Wilhelm screams.
Yeah, see the new Wilhelm edition of Willow.
I love that shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a stuntman with a mask
Such
on.
a stuntman with a mask on.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Jedi moment. Come on,
Yep.
use the Force. Use
Yep.
the Force.
Use the Force, Luke.
Oh. It's got this like deranged kind of old lady cackle. Oh, this bit made me
It
jump.
scared the crap out of everyone.
Yeah, it always gets you because you think, oh, she's playing dead. Takes the thing off.
Yeah.
Give me that wobbly stick.
Yeah. It's mine. No, it's mine.
It's like John was Twiglet.
This is us fighting over the last bagel, isn't it? It's mine. This pop thing comes to life.
Yeah, it's kind of
Like,
weird.
yeah.
It's kind of obviously we had to have Willow kind of, have some sort of peril
Yeah.
doing this moment here. Can't just sit there and watch the entire thing without doing anything. So they had to sort of throw this little bit in, and I don't know. It's kind of unnecessary padding, I suppose.
But I do love the design of it. The way there's skulls in there, and it's like these skeleton hands that are opening and closing the lid of it. I love the way Kel just screams at Magnolia. Ah! Like, yeah. Ah!
Kabla!
I love this. This is also obviously shot on a sunny day with a rain machine.
The armour was bloody useless then, wasn't it?
Mm. He's got Eric's sword now. Love this. He's just like knocking them away. Poof. Come on.
He always says it's die, isn't it? Yeah. Kill them or die.
Now you die.
This is quite cool because he does the sort of the parries it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he stabs him. He shatters his. That's it. He
Yeah.
shatters his mask.
Yep. And this great shot. This
Look, pans up.
Yeah,
Bolts of
pans up,
lightning.
lightning.
That's wonderful, Matt.
Love it. And he's like, yeah, it's not over yet.
Running up the stairs and fighting. Very
Yep.
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn,
Robin
let's do
Hood.
That. The colour's gone out of that shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been- Oof. Yeah, boom. There you go. And they always, yeah.
Gotcha, you
and then
bearded
this-
bastard.
Yeah. And then boom. I just love this. Just keeps whacking him. Yeah. This was all cut. in the original UK release.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, in the original release, he stabs him with Eric's sword.
Yeah.
And then I think gets one punch in, and then he falls off. And that's it.
You were saying about the sort of being a sunny day, because when he fell, it was very clearly a sunny day, but the bolts and lightning. What's this? This should be from shouldn't the lightning happen when it's really cloudy? Really bad weather.
It's magic.
Yeah,
it's bad magic going on. Even she calls him a peck.
That's good animation there.
Yeah. It's really cool the way she just shakes that dust out of her hand.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. She's having a whale of a time doing this.
Well, as always, playing the villain, it's always a great time to sort of ham up and chew up the dialogue.
Yeah.
And she's having a whale of a time. And also, this is probably she signing on to this being a George Lucas production. It's a lot of hype, and
Oh yeah,
everyone's going to see it.
Yeah, nice and high profile.
Yeah,
you stupid hag.
Yeah.
So how she gets killed here is like, is it because she knocks over the juice?
I think so. Just because he's using the wand, it's against her, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why does his hand hurt as well?
I think it's because he's connected to her, and she gets her life back. But it hurt. When she is kind of resurrected, it hurts him.
Yeah, because we're having to fill in those little gaps.
Yeah.
The story should have really filled those in for us. We're having to make up. It's like
As in what's happened here? So she knocks over all the stuff. She's got the wand, and and then suddenly all lightning comes down and takes her away.
The sort of Harry Potter mentality, but that's years later. But that obviously because the wand is bound to one person. It won't be its fullest power if someone else uses it.
Right.
It has an allegiance to someone else.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just, we literally make us up on the spot here.
I mean, I never had a problem with it as a kid. I always just took it that in her shock, she knocks over all that stuff and it all mixes together and it, attracts the forces that she was going to use to. Look, there's that king guy. Look,
yeah,
he's like a king and. But because I'd assume that she was going to mix all that stuff together around the baby, and then all that force would come down, all that lightning would come down and take her away. And I'm assuming that it just, she did it around herself instead by knocking it all over. That's how I always took it.
Everyone's had a wash and cleaned their hair.
Yep, everyone was looking very,
That's a good shot of Val, isn't it?
Yeah.
He realises I ain't got any hair.
Got no hair.
Where's my hair?
So yeah, because that's the castle that with the that the two-headed monster was at, isn't it?
They've all been
so
unfrozen.
those must all be all those people that were frozen in carbonite.
Frozen in carbonite, yeah. This is the shot I love. This sequence here when his wife sees him. It's just her performance.
Yeah,
seems so real, you know.
And you got this frigging music going on as well, which is so amazing. Here we go. This is where the bird shits on Turbo Cut. Goes right in his mouth as well. This is where he goes, ah. There we go. Pull back.
His return to the Shire.
Lovely map
That's
painting.
Lovely map.
Look
yeah,
at that.
only a fraction of that is real. Like the middle bit with people walking. That's it.
Look at that. Nice call back to the end of Raiders Lost Ark. With the map painting around. But look at that map painting. It's beautiful.
It's interesting though because once they've defeated Bad Morda, you have this. It's very quickly trying to get to the end now. It's all tying things up very quickly.
Yeah.
I thought if they'd I don't know.
Felt like you could have done
a little bit more with that, and then have maybe reduce something else we've had previously.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, if you chopped out some of the stuff in the middle section or the end of the second act.
Yeah, just tighten up a bit,
and just giving it another couple of minutes at the end here, just to bring it down. But that's it. But look, I love it. I think it's just listen to this music. I mean, how can you not just love it just for this? I mean, it's just like it's awesome, and it's
London Symphony did it.
It's it's a funny one because a lot of people don't have, or in my experience anyway, that a lot of people didn't have that much fond memories of it. But when they've rewatched it and when I've shown it to them, they're like, wow, it's really good, isn't it? So I didn't realise how good it was, and I'm like, yeah, it's great.
It's as a kid, yes, I did find it slightly, sort of, it was just too long. Especially, I think for a kid, attention span as well. There's a lot of like slow bits to it. Then it gets the actiony bit, and then that's great. But
it's still better paced and structured than most of the movies around today.
Oh, of course.
The 2.5 hour long things that we're forced to sit through.
Yeah. And when we got where they try to throw in humor which doesn't work,
doesn't
it's flat, and the humor in this works really well. Apart from sort of
sorry, I didn't say anything.
Apart from like the brownies, I felt that was still kind of forced.
Yeah, they're a little bit kiddie, a little bit childish.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of there's a need for them near the beginning, but once they come on this journey, they don't really do anything. There's not so much they can do, and they feel best.
Yeah, they're definitely supposed to be the C-3PO and R2 of the thing to be the comic relief, but they're just not interwoven in the plot enough.
No.
But it's but the comedy, particularly with Val Kilmer, is great, and feels very appropriate, character driven, and just genuinely the timing is great.
There's a big British crew on this, isn't there? I saw familiar like Chris Cobbold.
It was all the studio work was here. It was all at Elstree, all the and you had the Welsh crew. Well, I mean, a lot of the British would have gone over to the Welsh.
And there's obviously New Zealand crew as well.
Yeah.
It
was huge production. It was epic. Back in the days where you couldn't replicate people with computers.
But if you think about the sequel, if there was, sort of a treatment written, but you think where else can they really go with it? Because they've kind of defeated the bad guys of this universe. I mean, there could be someone else, but it would be kind of repeating itself.
Yeah,
to
I
some
mean,
degree,
it's
and
like
that's
all
probably-
these things. If you were to do a sequel to it, it would be a sequel for the sake of being a sequel.
Yeah.
You know, it's potentially a very rich world, and you could probably come up with different stories for it, I'm sure, but I can't go back on my thoughts of the day today, where we're just living in a day where everyone's obsessed with world building and far less into storytelling. And people seem to want the worlds to be more important than the story.
Yes.
Because to me, Star Wars is a story that's been told, and everything else that's going on now is just an excuse to expand the universe, but you're not really telling great stories with it.
Yeah, because all you've to seeing a new location, well, that's fair enough, but there isn't a need story within that, and not just repeating everything,
But this definitely felt more complete than even the first Star Wars, which obviously felt complete, but there's no Vader is still out there thing with this.
No.
So yeah, I don't know, but it again, it's a period of time where things were quite exciting. You had this come out, you had Roger Rabbit come out, and it was all very, very good. And I was well into all this stuff. I knew all the guys doing it, and I came out going, yeah, well done, nicely done, good boy, Ron.
Well, everyone, that is the end of the commentary. Hope you enjoyed it. Me and Brad will be back with some more in the new year.
Sure we will. Ta-ta.
Okay, well, take care and bye-bye.